Some surprises are good, like, wow, I just won the lottery. Some surprises are bad, like, oh no, there's a rattlesnake in this box. For wrestling fans, the Royal Rumble is filled mostly with surprises of the good variety. Those surprises can come in the form of who wins the match, who comes out when, and who surprises us by being there in the first place. Surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble can come in the form of superstars from previous eras returning, wrestlers from other promotions making an unexpected debut, or stars making a grand return from injury. Our list will have all of those and more.
But wait, there's more!
Join us in this episode of the Royal Grumble as we take a look at 10 surprise Royal Rumble entrants. I'm Kyle from Dapper Moose Entertainment, and let's get ready to grumble about wrestling. Number 10, Hacksaw Jim Duggan in 2012. Depending on your point of view, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's surprise entry in the 2012 Royal Rumble could be either a good surprise or a disappointing surprise. The St. Louis crowd seemed to enjoy it and gave the Golden Era veteran a hearty, nostalgic pop, chanting USA, USA, and ho, but not the Godfather's kind.
That's inappropriate.
While no one expected the 58-year-old kidney cancer survivor to win the match and earn a championship opportunity at WrestleMania, it was a heartwarming surprise to see the lovable 2x4 wielding oaf back in a Royal Rumble for the first time since 2009. As the inaugural winner of the Royal Rumble in 1988, it always tugs at the nostalgia heartstrings when Duggan is involved in the match. For more about Hacksaw Jim Duggan's victory and many more Royal Rumble firsts, check out our previous episode of the Royal Grumble.
Good idea.
Number 9, Bubba Ray Dudley in 2015. There is no doubt about it, Philadelphia is a wrestling town, and the cradle of civilization for hardcore wrestling. So when the 2015 Royal Rumble took place in Philly, it made a lot of sense to have at least one ECW legend appear. That legend also happened to be one half of one of the most decorated tag teams of all time, the Dudley Boys. Bubba Ray Dudley made his surprise return to a massive pop from the Philly faithful as the third entrant in the 2015 Royal Rumble match. Surprisingly, that iteration of the Rumble was Bubba's first time entering the match. Bubba and his tag team partner Devon had an initial run of 6 years with WWE, but he had never been part of the match. Instead, the Dudley Boys were part of the undercard, having awe-inspiring tag matches.
You were really, really good.
Dudley eliminated The Miz and R-Truth before Bray Wyatt tossed Bubba over the top rope. Not a terrible showing for the 43-year-old former TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Not bad.
Number 8, Goldust in 2015. There are few wrestlers who are more committed to a gimmick than Dustin Rhodes. Rhodes was so committed to the enigmatic androgynous Goldust character that he wanted to get breast implants, a story confirmed by WWE producer Bruce Pritchard on his Something to Wrestle podcast.
That's dedication. That is dedication.
Dustin Rhodes previously worked for Vince McMahon's company in the early 90s, but returned to WCW after a short stint. When Rhodes returned in 1995, he was unrecognizable, covered in gold face paint, a long platinum blonde wig, and a shimmering, skin-tight bodysuit. The bulk of Goldust's WWE run was from 1995 to 99, but Rhodes did have a few more short stints with the company in the 2000s. But the WWE Universe was shocked when Goldust returned at the 2013 Royal Rumble as the 8th entrant. When Goldust's music hit, the Phoenix crowd went wild as the Bizarre One entered the match. Most of the time, Goldust was preoccupied with his half-brother Cody, who was the one to eliminate him. Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust, returned to the company later that year, thanks to the crowd reaction, his performance, and the chemistry with Cody. Number 7, Booker T in 2011. A Royal Rumble with 40 participants is bound to have some extra entrants to help fill out the match, That was the case with the 2011 edition, where there was more than one surprise entrant for the largest Rumble up to that point. One of those surprise appearances was former King of the Ring winner Booker T, who hadn't been in a WWE ring since 2007. The former WWE World Heavyweight Champion and 5-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion came out at number 21 and made his presence felt. Booker T delivered some of his greatest hits, so to speak, executing a scissors kick on David Otunga and a bookend on Michael McGillicuddy, the future Curtis Axel. Booker did not record an elimination in 68 seconds of work before being tossed out by Mason Ryan. In 2023, Booker had another brief entry into the Royal Rumble, again coming out at number 21, but he was quickly eliminated by Gunther in 42 seconds. Not the best showing, but at least we got to see the WWE Hall of Famer in the ring again.
I'll take it!
Number 6, Diesel in 2011. Remember what I said a little bit ago? That the 2011 Royal Rumble had a few surprises? In addition to Booker T, another major return by a wrestler from a bygone era was Diesel. By entering at number 32, Kevin Nash made his first WWE appearance since SummerSlam 2003, and it was the first time since 1996 that he wrestled as the Diesel character. Diesel's entrance shocked the fans, but also the superstars in the ring. Like Booker T earlier in the match, Diesel had no eliminations and was eliminated by a Nexus member. This time around, it was Wade Barrett after 2 minutes and 45 seconds of action. And for our next entry, we go from one Intercontinental Champion to another.
Transition!
Number 5, Mr. Perfect in 2002. From 1988 to 1996, Curt Hennig called the WWF home. His portrayal of Mr. Perfect was, well, absolutely perfect. Although Mr. Perfect never won the Fed's top prize, he is considered one of the best technical wrestlers to ever step into a ring and one of the best Intercontinental Champions of all time. If you'd like to see a list of best wrestlers to never win the WWE Championship and or the best Intercontinental Champions, please leave a comment below. Now back to the list. When Mr. Perfect returned in the 2002 Royal Rumble, the Atlanta crowd erupted. He was the 25th entrant and lasted over 15 minutes in the match. Mr. Perfect's return was fairly impressive as he made it to the Final Four for the first time since 1990. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, and Triple H rounded out the star-studded Final Four. Mr. Perfect notched one elimination as he and Kurt Angle ended Stone Cold's time in the match. Curt Hennig even got a chance to hit the perfect plex on Kurt Angle, but since there are no pinfalls in the match, it didn't necessarily help. Shortly after, the eventual winner Triple H clotheslined the WWE legend over the top rope. Sadly, it was Curt Hennig's final Royal Rumble appearance, as he died less than 13 months later.
May he rest in peace.
Number 4, Rey Mysterio in 2018. Who was that masked man?
Who was that guy in the mask?
It was none other than Lucha Libre legend Rey Mysterio. After a few years away from the WWE, Rey Mysterio elated the WWE Universe as he entered the 2018 Royal Rumble match from the 27th position. In 9 minutes, Mysterio eliminated just one competitor, NXT's Adam Cole baby. Mysterio made it to the final 5, but Finn Balor made sure he didn't make it any further. It wasn't the longest time the 2006 winner has spent in a Royal Rumble match, but he made the most of his time executing exciting spots and giving the crowd a major jolt, something Mysterio has made a lengthy career of doing.
The crowd goes wild!
Number 3, AJ Styles in 2016. Perhaps if you're an avid dirt sheet reader, AJ Styles' debut in the 2016 Royal Rumble wasn't a true surprise, but for other marks, the former Ring of Honor, TNA, and New Japan Pro Stars appearance was shocking. An indie darling getting a massive pop entering a WWE ring? Who would have thought? The Styles surprise came early on in the match when the Phenomenal One entered at number 3. In Styles' first Royal Rumble, he notched 2 eliminations by getting rid of Tyler Breeze and Curtis Axel, respectively. Another former Ring of Honor star, Kevin Owens, had the honor of dispatching AJ Styles after the latter spent nearly 29 minutes in the match.
That's pretty good.
That's a phenomenal first impression, and it sparked a meteoric rise to the top of the card for Styles. If you're interested in learning more about AJ Styles' first appearance and other memorable WWE debuts, check out our first episode of the Royal Rumble.
Check it out.
Number 2, John Cena in 2008. In all honesty, Cena's return in the 2008 Royal Rumble might be the biggest surprise entry in the history of the event, given the circumstances. Just a few months earlier, Cena had to vacate the WWE title, which he held for 380 days, because of a torn pectoral muscle. The prevailing thought was the devastating injury could keep the 16-time world champ out of action for up to a year.
Almost a year.
However, Super Cena showed his grit and determination and returned several months earlier than expected. Cena coming out as the 30th competitor was absolutely the right call by WWE and led to genuine shocked reaction from the crowd and even most of the wrestlers and announcers, allegedly. The former doctor of thugonomics spent about 8.5 minutes in the match, eliminated 4 people, Carlito, Mark Henry, Chavo Guerrero, and lastly Triple H to win the match. The unlikely return might be enough to propel this moment toward the top of the list by itself, but when you add the fact that Cena won, it makes it one of the best surprises in Royal Rumble history. Number 1, Edge in 2010 and 2021. The only person who could nudge John Cena's epic comeback out of the number 1 spot is someone who had an amazing comeback story of his own. Add that to a Royal Rumble win and a surprising return over 10 years earlier, and you have Edge. In 2010, Edge had a surprise return from injury and won from the 29th spot by last eliminating John Cena. That's impressive, but what he did in the 2021 Royal Rumble is extraordinary. The Rated R superstar entered as the first competitor in the match. It was the first time Edge had wrestled since retiring from neck injuries in 2011.
You said he was finished.
But 10 years after retiring, Edge returned and won the match, becoming the 3rd person to win from the first spot. If you're interested in seeing who else is on that list, be sure to check out our video on Royal Rumble firsts. We're not sure what's more surprising than a wrestler who retired 10 years earlier due to serious neck problems going the distance, which in this case meant 58 minutes and 30 seconds, and winning the Royal Rumble match.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
That's our list. Who were your favorite surprise entrants that didn't make the list? Tell us in the comments below. Thanks for watching the Royal Grumble. Any support you can give us is much appreciated. If you enjoyed our episode, please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to give you more exciting wrestling content. See you next time. Changing the game.